That is a bright light in my... Whew, it's bright. Okay, we're live. If you're here, feel free to introduce yourself on the question and answer part of the menu, as I can't tell who you are, but welcome. If you click on your camera or microphone, I'll be able to hear you, especially if you have questions you want to ask. I decided to do this at home because I bragged about getting answers to your questions from the comfort of your home. To date, I don't know of anybody that is out there trying to reach the online community and help them navigate the college funding maze, teach the tricks and the tips and the ways to get the money, because the money is out there. It's just a matter of learning how to ask for it, learning how to get it. So actually, a friend of mine came up with this idea and thought it was a great idea to just create a forum that you, whether students or parents especially, if they're frustrated, they can ask questions. Welcome whoever just joined us. Just click on your microphone and test it, or your camera. We can see you, especially if you're on and you have questions. We want to facilitate those especially. I've got plenty of things to share, but I'm playing with my tools here to make sure I've got everything right. Can you guys see the chat box? I'm typing in, I'm here from Tucson. You guys see that? Love to know where you're from. If your microphone's not working, you can type in a question. Looks like we've got a few more people adding. Welcome. This is a Q&A session on how to pay for college without going broke. I've got some questions I've picked up over the last couple months that I'll share with you. You probably have questions. Hopefully this will be beneficial. If you can hop on the chat box and just let me know you're here. and tell me what part of the country you're from. That would be helpful just to kind of know what our audience is all about. So is the chat box working? I don't have anybody that I'm hearing. So if you can make sure your microphone's on or chat a question or a statement to me, that helped me out a lot. Hope you're in the comfort of my home. I came home to my little den here, my little respite. So I'm not getting any chats, and I'm not getting any volume. So something must be up. Anybody know? I'll do another test here. My group chat is over to the right. Well, if we have to do this one way, I certainly got plenty that I can share with you. So welcome. I'm Tim Lambros. I'm a certified college advisor. I've had a blast this year as we broke into January, being at high schools, helping parents and students, working with counselors of high schools, sending out some free stuff on my YouTube channel. If you've not ever been there, it's just go to YouTube and look up College Finance Solutions. Be super grateful if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I pretty much try to put out a 1 or 2 minute video every time I get a parent with a unique question, or anytime I pick up a piece of advice I can give to you. I'm getting some text messages. Yeah, someone says, not sure if I can get on without a Gmail address. Not sure how to answer that. Welcome for those of you just joining. I'm reaching out, just trying to see how you guys can turn on your microphone so I can hear you. I can't hear anything, and I was hoping my microphone is on. I'm going to unmute. I think you guys can see me. I can't see anybody. So if you can find the group chat, mine's in the upper left-hand corner, or find a way to turn on your microphone. I definitely want to be able to take some questions so you don't have to just listen to me talk for this whole exercise. Again, welcome. As I mentioned, I've been able to really be amongst the schools here for the last 2 months, and definitely got good questions and some good content to share with you. So if you are just getting on, find a way to get your microphone on so we can do this together. It's not meant to be one way. Still nobody showing up with the chat, and still nobody on a microphone. I'm going to go to the toolbox here and see. Yeah, nobody's muted. Just turned up the audio level. Yeah. Okay, that's the camera part. I'm just playing with the buttons here. Hopefully you'll do the same thing. If you're just jumping in on this, find the chat box if that's the best way to send a question. I'm pretty excited about this platform. Actually, a friend of mine recommended that I do this. So if Jalil, if you're on, thanks for the great idea. It's really started with him. There's really nobody out there that just creates an online forum for folks walking through this process, frustrated, overwhelmed. So we're going to attempt to do this on a regular basis, and tonight's the first time we've actually experienced it. So thanks for joining us. Well, let me jump in with what I wanted to share in case you're there and there's just no way to get the microphone or the chat box to work. I had did a little video on this. I had a friend at church who's got a senior in high school, did a little video on this when I was sending out to my email list, asked me this question Sunday, and it creates another myth that is out there, a myth that needs to be busted because it costs money. And when I talk about myths and being a myth buster, you know, I like for people to hear that a myth about college planning leads to mistakes that cost you money. So myth, mistakes, money. And if we can bust some myths, you're going to minimize your mistakes in the process and position yourself for the most amount of money for college. So one of the myths that are out there is this friend has a college-bound senior. Has been accepted to the school he really wants to go to. It's March the 1st, and she has not had the conversation about a financial aid package. They can't send their son to this university, which is out of town, unless they get a pretty handsome financial aid package. So her question to me was, they're asking me for about $500 in admission fees. Now, these are not application fees, these are admission fees. And I heard that I've got to pay that before I can start talking to them about a financial aid package. That's a myth. Let's bust that myth. You've heard me say this before. Colleges are big business. And if they can get your fees, they will take your fees. If they want your student as part of their community, they will create a financial aid package for you. You absolutely do not have to pay admission fees before you begin the financial aid package. I recommended that she not only put in for a financial aid package, but to do that with multiple schools. And we can talk about the wisdom behind that later. But for what she was understanding, what she was waiting on was, I can't pay the $500 right now. I need to pay the $500 before I can talk to them about financial aid. And that is a spiraling down that will cost her lots of money. So she was believing a myth. It was going to lead to a mistake. It would cost her money and possibly her child's chance of going to the school that he wants to and he really desires to attend. So she is getting on the ball and beginning that conversation with the university, which is the final conversation in the process after you filed your FAFSA, after you've done 3.5 years of school and GPA and SAT and ACT. That final variable out there that can make or break is that conversation with universities and that financial aid package that they will offer if you just play your cards right. There is a way to get that money. So hopefully she's been well served. So welcome again. This is Ask Me Anything, except I can't find a way for you to ask me questions. So that's kind of humorous. I've got the chat box open. The Q&A box says is disabled. So I'm not exactly sure what the problem is, but I do not have anybody that seems to have voice access to our setting here. So I'll just keep on with some of the content I wanted to share with you. Second question that I get, a lot of times this is from freshmen and sophomores. They believe the myth that in high school, all you've got to worry about is getting a good GPA, good SAT and ACT scores, and it'll all work out. That might have worked for mom and dad, but that doesn't work anymore when schools cost between $20,000 and $70,000 for cost of attendance. Here's the problem with that myth that leads to mistakes that cost you money. There is money to be found for financial aid and to go to the school that you want to, but it takes some work. Yes, in your freshman and sophomore year, you're beginning to build that academic resume, and there's a social resume to consider also, but you're beginning to build that academic resume. When you're a senior, you can't change that. That GPA and those scores are going to be established. What you can do that's very wise to do that positions you for financial aid is begin to make contacts with universities. And here's why that kind of activity freshman and sophomore year makes a lot of sense. Let me explain. You see, there are colleges out there with large recruiting offices, and they're out there looking for students that are a good fit for their university, for their campus, a good fit for what they're trying to build there. They have money and they will invest money in your student if he's a good fit. Now, when I say good fit, what do I mean? Well, yes, they like to have sharp students, but literally we've seen students with a GPA of 2.5 get financial aid. So it's not just about getting that 4.0 or that 3.5 and that high SAT score. Um, it's fitting you with those colleges that are interested in you. And these colleges begin to collect up names as early as elementary school when you're taking standardized tests. Definitely by junior high, when you start to take your SATs and ACTs, your name will start to rise in the National Student Registry. Well, they don't know how to connect with all the students that they might be able to offer a package to. They work with organizations and people like us, but they also have uh, recruiters and recruiting departments. In fact, if you've got a sophomore or junior in college in your home, you've probably randomly got really slick brochures that cost a lot of money to make just show up in your mailbox. They know you. They know you're out there. They know you have a college student. They're reaching out. A wise student will begin to make contacts with multiple colleges in their freshman and sophomore year. And sometimes that's just simply calling them and saying, hey, I might be interested in attending your college when I get out of high school. Could you send me some information that I can review? You don't have to ask for an application. You say, can you send me some information? Well, when they send you information, they will have you on their list. They will begin to interact with you. That connection just might lead to a handsome financial aid package. We recommend students in their freshman and sophomore year reach out to 10 or 20 colleges or universities. What do you know when you're a freshman or sophomore? Your mind might change a dozen different times by the time you're a senior. Why not make a connection? Now, there's a wise way to make a connection, and there's a not so wise way to make a connection. For example, if you're a freshman and you think you might want to go in the medical field, maybe I want to be a doctor, maybe I want to be a physician's assistant, maybe I want to be a registered nurse and get my BSN. Well, making a connection, with the Colorado School of Mines is probably not going to profit you much. There are ways, and there's online resources that you can utilize to find a good fit early on that at least gives you, puts you in a good position to interact with them when it gets serious in your junior and senior year. So let's just bust the myth that there's nothing to do your freshman or sophomore year. When you're talking about $10,000 or $20,000 a year of financial aid package, does it make sense to do some work early on? Absolutely. That's not that much effort while you're building your GPA, while you're beginning to take your PSAT and your SAT and do well on those. Make 10 or 20 contacts with universities. You're probably already on their list anyways. You're just making it easy for them to connect with you. So that's a freshman, sophomore myth that many people live under, and I want you to be a myth buster and just crush that thing. Make sense? Okay. Well, hey, welcome, audience. Like I said before, I'm not hearing from anyone in the chat box, so something must be malfunctioning, and I've not got anybody that's audio here. So I'm just going to share with you the content that I had, and while I'm thinking about it, if you're on my mailing list, you've probably already been offered the book College Funding Made Easy. In case you have not got it, almost everything I share with you is in a resource book like this. A gentleman by the name of Coy Howe wrote this. It's not in print anymore, but I can get the electronic version to you for free. This is a great resource. All you have to do is go to collegefinancesolutions.com, collegefinancesolutions.com, enter your name and your email, and you'll get a email sent to you with a link where you can download it, and you can begin reading and learning some of these tips and tricks and strategies to position yourself for the most money for your college-bound student. It does work. Not a whole lot of people know these. They're little known, but you can learn them and you can apply them. Okay? So that's freshmen and sophomores. I get questions from parents that have juniors. They're beginning to think. Most of them are like, oh, I know I should be doing something, but I don't know what to do. And, help me out here. What should we be doing our junior year? Well, like I mentioned before, the door is starting to close on building that GPA and those test scores. So that part, hopefully you're being diligent on. But there's a little known secret. This is one of my favorite ones. And typically we do this for our clients, but I'm going to share it with you that have taken time to come out. It's time to literally start making application to colleges and doing campus visits. So the myth out there is, well, why invest any time your junior year doing college campus visits and making application? Because it's expensive. If my child wants to go to any university outside of town, I've got travel expenses. Most of the colleges have application fees. They can be as low as $35 or $50, but they can be as high as $100 or $125. So if I'm going to apply to 5 or 10 or 15 colleges, I mean, that might cost me $500 or $1,000. Well, you're going to be glad you're on tonight, because here is a little known trick, a little known tip that you can begin to use. The first one's super easy. If you want to go on a college campus visit, call the school and ask them if they have any funds available to help with your expenses. You'll be amazed if you simply ask. Many times they will have a rental car waiting for you. Many times they will say, hey, we can reimburse you up to $400 for a visit. They will definitely put you in their database, and that could be good if, when the time comes, your college-bound student is serious about that school. But that's the easiest little ninja trick out there you can do. You just call and ask. What are you going to lose? They might say no, and they might say, absolutely, we'll send you money or we'll reimburse you for your expenses. So campus visits, you heard it from me, just call and ask. You'll be amazed at how eager they are to facilitate your campus visit. Second one's a little more involved, but here's how you get out of paying for college admission fees and position yourself to stand out in the crowd. So this is like a double bonus, okay? One, when you call and say, hey, my son would like to apply to see if he or she could be accepted at your college. They're going to say what? Oh, well, here's our website. Here's our electronic application. Don't do that. Say, well, thank you, but I really would like to get a paper application sent to me. So is there a way I could get a paper application sent to me? Now, first of all, that will strike them as strange, but press in. Here's why. One, they will email you a PDF and you can fill it out. And two, when you fill that out, you have an opportunity to literally create a portfolio. And when you mail in a portfolio, an application, certificates from National Honor Society, Eagle Scout, where you volunteered, a letter you got from a customer at your child's work, anything, your child will stand out like you can't believe. And in the cover letter, which I strongly recommend you do, you put in there, this is from the student, not from the parents, you put in there from the student, my parents plan on paying the admission fee as soon as we know if we're accepted or not. Something like that delays it. My parents plan on paying the admission fee when we come for a campus visit. My parents plan on paying the admission fee when we send in a deposit for a dorm room. Anything like that, typically you will get a response that they will waive the fee. They've got your package. Here's the dirty little secret that most people don't realize. Like I've mentioned before, college is a business. These are multi-million-dollar business operations. Very smart people run them. They're not the bad guys, but they are smart business people. So here's the deal. It is much better to create an online automated system for college applications. I live in Tucson, Arizona. There's 40 or 50,000 people that attend the University of Arizona. There's tens of thousands of applications every year. If they can automate that, it's just more cost effective. Well, what happens? Students that don't get a full package and have their student work in a work-study program to help pay for their tuition, they're the ones that process all these electronic applications. It's a $10 an hour person that has a checklist of look for these 10 items and then move this application down the road. You don't want to be in that system. You fill out the application, you put all sorts of other things to make it an absolute portfolio on your college-bound student. The student writes the cover letter and they send it in. And when that package comes in to the admissions office, your student will stand out like you've never seen a student stand out. You will make a name and stand out in that crowd of applicants. Trust me. That's a free tip, and that one works. You not only will get your application fee waived, but guess what? Your student can stand out in a fairly competitive crowd of people that are applying and trying to get financial aid. Does that make sense? So juniors, talk to mom and dad, parents. If you've got a college-bound student that's a junior, there's good stuff you can be doing during your junior year, applying, continue to make connections, and having that student stand out when you make application. Okay? All right, one more check here. Chat box is still just got my stuff in there. I'm not getting any audio, so I guess we're going to have to write this up as a, I'm going to the settings now. Communications, nope. Voice, nope. Okay. Well, the last item is directed to seniors. Oh, before that, I didn't have it ready for you tonight, but I'm creating a document, the 7 most common mistakes that parents make when sending their college-bound students to college. Look on Facebook. If you go to Facebook, my Facebook page is Wealth Smart Tim on Facebook. My YouTube channel is College Finance Solutions. Look in the next couple of days for a great little document, the 7 mistakes that parents make and how you can avoid them in a little free document I'll be sending out. So just look for that or get on my email list at collegefinancesolutions.com and you'll get that automatically. That's a very helpful thing to be able to have on record the mistakes that most parents make so that you can avoid them. You don't know how many people that have kids in college say, I wish I would have found this stuff out earlier. And also, if you have an area topic and because of the technology we couldn't make it work tonight, feel free to email me. Email me your questions. Just tim@timlambros.com. And in case you can see the chat box and I just can't see yours, I'll just type it in here, tim@timlambros.com. I'll take any questions. I'm getting a text that someone's entering questions, but they can't see them. Yeah, sorry, we're having some technology problems here. So thanks for trying. We'll figure this out. And next time we do one of these, we'll make sure all the functionality works. Seniors. What do you do if you're a senior? I almost every week I get questions from seniors. Right now, all through February, March, certainly when we were out at the high schools in January and February, mom and dad and senior were there because it's the real deal. If you go to my YouTube channel and get my 10-minute flyover, I think it's called also How to Pay for College Without Going Broke. I walked through 6 different steps in the process. And the final one is typically going to happen in the spring semester of your senior year. Yes, the doors are closing on opportunity, but your options are not done. And here is a little known trick that you can deploy even today, March the 1st. If your son or daughter has only applied to one school, there is a strategy out there that can create a competitive environment where you'll notice, even if it's the favorite school that your son or daughter wants to go to, you'll notice an increase in financial aid offers if you will do this work. And it's simply this. And there's programs out there that I can tie you into that will hold your hand and walk you through the steps, because it's very much the student has to be involved and put about an hour a week into doing this. But it's basically applying to more schools and refiling or updating your FAFSA to put that you're interested in more schools, and trying to create a competitive environment where your student is being sought after by multiple colleges. Here's a picture we try to create for our clients in the springtime of their senior year. This is when you know you've worked the system well. It's March, it's April, it's May. The colleges that you have applied for, the colleges that you've asked for a financial aid offer from, are now sending additional offers to you because you haven't made your decision yet. We encourage seniors to not make a decision in March or April. You can wait till July or August. That's okay. You're not going to miss out. If you have your favorite school and you want to put a dorm deposit down to reserve a dorm room, even if you don't end up going there, it'll be well worth the loss because of the type of increase in financial aid packages you will see. I did a little video about a client that actually was getting increased offers last spring and got all stressed out about it. She didn't understand what was happening. And I just about went crazy when she was telling me this, because I said, this is Exhibit A that we love with our clients. What happened is she had turned the process in her favor. When you're a freshman and sophomore, you're looking at navigating this confusing maze of college funding. But when you're in the springtime of your senior year and the colleges are now competing for your child, you have turned the entire process in your favor. You do that by creating a competitive environment where these colleges, they're aware that you're looking at other universities. We actually have a system where we can fax in the financial aid you offers and find out if it's a strong or weak offer. And these other colleges know this activity is going on. If they don't hear from you, they tend to throw more money at you. It's a little bit like critical mass. You probably have to apply to about 10 schools. 6 seems to be the magic number. When you've been accepted by 6 schools, there's just something that happens. And we have seen people begin in January, February, March of their senior year and make this process get turned into their favor. It's a little bit of work if you wait till right now to start, but you can do it. It will work for you. So that's another little ninja trick, even for seniors. I've heard of people do this their freshman year of college. They get to a college, maybe they change their major, maybe they want to do something different. They don't want to have to lose a semester or even a whole year by switching colleges. Maybe they just need to get more financial aid because they're borrowing a lot of money. But your senior year, the door is not completely closed. You can get to work on that and literally turn it in your favor. So seniors, there's something for you to do. Yeah, the door is swinging closed, but for March the 1st, you can roll up your sleeves for the next 60 or 90 days and make some things happen. You just need to know the tips and tricks and the strategies to get their attention. And that's how we try to equip you as parents and students to do that. So hopefully that was helpful. Couple of tricks and tips I wanted for freshmen and sophomores and then juniors and seniors. You can load yourself up with resources like this, College Funding Made Easy, at my website, collegefinanceSolutions.com. You can go to my YouTube channel, College Finance Solutions, and I'm constantly trying to download good, helpful content for you. You can email me, tim@timlambros.com. And then finally, oh yeah, and then in the next couple of days, I'll have my 7 mistakes to avoid. So lots of ideas for you, a couple of freebies that hopefully will help you. And then finally, this is being recorded. This will be up on my YouTube channel also if you want to review. I'll try to put in the remarks where each of those questions are. So if you just want to fast forward to review. And as always, if you have questions, feel free to contact me, and I'll do my best to help you get the most college money for the best education for your college-bound son or daughter. That is what we are passionate about. So hopefully this was helpful. We'll probably do this again. Look for a link or an announcement. But if I can't hear anything from you, I think I'm going to wrap this up. You've got my contact information if you have follow-up questions. I really appreciate you being on, and hopefully this was of some value to you. If you can, on a scale of 1 to 10, tell me what kind of value this was to you in the remarks. And till the next time, we'll see you then. Thanks. Have a good week.